So this is episode 20-4, and it is called Chamber Fusion. What does that mean? Well, I don't know for sure, but chamber music seems to imply some kind of an intimacy, like string quartets, that's chamber music, Baroque music's chamber music. But fusion is about busting genres or molding them together. So fusion, jazz fusion, is kind of like rock drummers with like jazz soloing. So when you fuse things together, well, fusion, it generates energy. It's how the sun works. So chamber fusion. So what am I trying to put together here that doesn't go with each other? I picked a hip-hop drummer. I told him to play at 95 beats per minute in 4/4. I'm pretty sure that most hip-hop is always 4/4, which will be a big relief after 12/8. Sorry to give everybody a music lesson, but I can't help it because I'm learning it as I'm explaining it. So I got hip-hop, 4/4, 95 beats per minute, chamber fusion. So I'm going to try to do something which I have no idea if it's going to work, and I'll have to rescue myself. I'm going to try to play a swing tune in a hip-hop fusion manner. I'm going to take a Duke Ellington and try to do it in fusion. Let's see if that could possibly work. Okay, here we go. A hip-hop version of Take the A Train, if it works. Oh well, surprisingly, you can play swing in a hip-hop drum beat. Although the purists in the world would be completely horrified by that. I think jazzers would be very bummed if they heard me do that. But you know what? I have found that purists in the world are horrified by anything creative than original. People who only want to play acoustical instruments, they don't like electric instruments. Acoustic guitarists don't necessarily like electric guitars. Certainly real jazz drummers are not going to like a hip-hop fake drummer. So this thing of chamber fusion, this is my attempt to say that you really have to fuse different genres together and not be a purist. Because innovation and being a purist don't have that much to do with each other. Innovators are constantly breaking rules all of the time. They don't do what's expected. That's why we get in trouble all the time. Even in classical music, there used to be something called a cadenza. There was a lot of improvisation going on in Baroque music. But the composers became control freaks, and over the 200 years after Baroque music, they started writing out all the virtuoso improvised cadenzas and telling people what notes to play. What a bummer. You know, in Baroque music, if people out there read music, there's something called a bar line, and sometimes there's a repeat sign that says play that part again. In Bach's time, he wasn't assuming you were going to play that same thing again. He was assuming you go back and do something different. He was a great improviser. He was really hip. He was playing jazz before there was jazz. That's what chamber fusion is about. I have a concert coming up, actually 3 concerts coming up in 3 weeks, and we are fusing a lot of different kinds of music. We've got Baroque pipe organs and modern synths and chamber music, pianos and flutes, and I'm going to do my weird thing, whatever this is. So I think chamber music is a genre, and I think it's the genre of putting together all the different parts of whatever turns you on. It's like world beat or world fusion music. And rather than talking more about it, I'm going to see if I could do something completely different with this fusion thing, although I don't actually know what it will be yet. See what happens. I'm going to try something Baroque, Pachelbel's Canon. It looped itself.